Welcome to S44 Intel. This report provides situational awareness and strategic context regarding the current situation in the Middle East. Here is the current operational assessment. Diplomatic de-escalation signals are now colliding with hard red line enforcement from Tehran, creating a high-risk ambiguity phase in the Middle East security environment. In this briefing, we will break down what Iran is offering, what it is rejecting, and what this means operationally. Beginning with reported diplomatic signaling. According to reporting citing Iranian officials, Tehran has indicated willingness to suspend or shut down elements of its nuclear program in order to calm the situation. The same reporting states that Iran would prefer a previously proposed United States framework involving a regional nuclear energy consortium. Additional reporting claims that Ali Larijani delivered a message to Russian leadership suggesting Iran could consider transferring enriched uranium to Russia as part of a de-escalation arrangement. The Kremlin has acknowledged that this topic has existed on diplomatic agendas in the past. However, these claims have immediately encountered internal contradiction. Senior Iranian officials have publicly rejected the idea that enriched uranium would be transferred out of Iran. Ali Bagheri, Deputy Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, stated that Iran has no intention of transferring its nuclear stockpile to a third country. This creates a direct contradiction between unofficial diplomatic signaling and Iran's official security red lines. Shifting to Iran's deterrence framing, Ali Shamkhani, senior advisor to Iran's leadership, outlined explicit red lines in an interview. He stated that if the United States attacks Iran, Tehran will strike Israel, that enriched uranium will not leave Iran, and that Iran will not negotiate on non-nuclear issues. He also stated that any attack on Iran would result in strikes on United States assets in the Persian Gulf and Azerbaijan. This messaging is designed to anchor escalation costs while narrowing acceptable negotiation boundaries. Now to presidential signaling. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian stated that he has instructed the foreign ministry to pursue negotiations if an environment free from threats and unreasonable expectations can be established. He emphasized that talks must remain aligned with national interests and conducted under principles of dignity and prudence. This language preserves negotiation flexibility while conditioning engagement on security posture and external behavior. Additional internal messaging reinforces this framing. Senior presidential officials have stated that while war is undesirable, peace will not be accepted if it is perceived as surrender. This positions Tehran's domestic narrative toward resilience rather than concession. Analyst assessment. This pattern reflects controlled diplomatic signaling combined with reinforced deterrence boundaries. Iran appears to be testing de-escalation messaging through intermediaries and media channels while simultaneously hardening official red lines to prevent perceived weakness. The internal contradiction between reported uranium transfer options and official denials indicates either negotiation experimentation or deliberate ambiguity management. This does not confirm that substantive concessions have been authorized. It does indicate that Tehran is attempting to shape the diplomatic environment while preparing for escalation contingencies. Escalation ladder update. Current placement, Phase 2 stabilization attempt inside a Phase 3 pressure environment. Reasoning. Diplomatic outreach signals indicate de-escalation exploration. Simultaneous retaliation warnings and red line reinforcement indicate continued readiness for confrontation. This creates a narrow negotiation window under high operational pressure. Bottom line, Iran is signaling conditional willingness to engage on the nuclear file while publicly reinforcing strict red lines on uranium control and retaliation thresholds. Conflicting statements reflect an active internal balancing effort between diplomacy and deterrence. This does not represent a diplomatic breakthrough. It represents controlled ambiguity designed to slow escalation while preserving strategic leverage. The negotiation environment remains fragile and highly sensitive to external military pressure. This concludes the current operational assessment. S44 Intel will continue tracking diplomatic signaling, leadership statements, and negotiation channel movement across the region. Stay informed. Stay analytical. End of report.